So here is one automation that you can use. It's gonna get your show rate from, like it was for us, like a 40 to 50% to a 70 to 80%. And just so you know the math on that, like you don't have to spend more on ads, you don't have to hire new people, you don't have to change anything that your sales team has to do. So it is the easiest thing to do because it's automated. All you have to do is set it up. Once it's set up, it's gonna do the rest for you. I'm Jesse, have equity in multiple businesses, built multiple sales teams, multiple marketing teams, CEO of a couple companies right now. So when it comes to sales teams, when it comes to marketing teams, when it comes to support, fulfillment, all that stuff, I've been doing this for a little while now, and I want to help people that maybe haven't been, that are trying to grow in different spaces, and that's what I'm making this video for. So if that sounds like you, if you're a company, either whether you're an executive in a company that's trying to improve a department, or you're a CEO or a founder that's trying to grow your company, this is the content for you. This is the stuff that's gonna help. Because I'm literally going into the exact steps, the exact frameworks, the exact workflows that you can just copy so you can go and do it. No, I don't think you saw me, but. So, what is that worth though? Like for us, here's what it was worth. So, 1,200 book calls, that's around what we get per month. Our show rate used to be around a 50%, close rate hovered around a 15%, AOV 5,000, deals per lead 1. That was before, so we'd get around 450,000 a month. After the fact, if we just get that to a 75%, keep the close rate the same, does nothing on that. Although this automation can help with the close rate, but that's not what it's mostly for. If you just kept everything the same besides the show rate, immediately you go from 450 to 675 for your sales team. And again, if you have more book calls, then it's gonna be worth more to you than if you have less. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm going to talk about what it is, like the actual framework you wanna use, and then I'm gonna just show you the workflow inside of our HubSpot account. So we'll go into the HubSpot account and we'll actually show you the exact workflow. And then I have some bonus stuff that I wrote down that I will give you guys too. So first off, it's more of the methodology behind it, which is most people, when they get a booked call, they just send them the reminders and the links. That's it. Just with what we know with traditional sales and relationship building, anything like that, that's not great. That's not phenomenal. So the way I look at it, the way I break it down, even in my workflows, you'll see they're split into different goals because each of these is a separate goal of, once somebody books a call, here's the things I need to get them through in order to have a higher show rate and close rate. So number one is I need to engage them. You gotta do something that actually gets them to respond. If it's just like a, hey, your call is on this time, people don't respond to that. They probably don't even look at it. They'll get a text, they'll get an email and be like, okay, great. But there's nothing added to that. That's boring, and that's not gonna make anybody want to, not excited to hop on the call, not anything like that. So there's a few ways that you can go to engage it. I like number one, my favorite, humor. Using something funny that actually sounds like a real person, even if it's automation, but it sounds like a real person. And it's something that's gonna, again, stand out from everything else. I'll show you what we have and what we're testing, because I have something even funny that I'm testing right now as like a side thing. But yeah. The other one's push-pull. I see a lot of people do this one. I don't like this one that much, but it's just, you give them the information and then you pretty much say, if you don't respond to this right now, I'm gonna cancel your call. I think that gives a bad taste in their mouth, especially at this stage. So I don't use that one. It does work though. I have seen that one work. Then there's scarcity urgency with customization. So you can there's a lot of automations where you can take something that was in their application, ask it custom questions. So it was, for instance, it could be, if you saw, they said on their application that they struggle getting leads for their gym. And you could have something like, hey, I saw, and again, you can use AI and stuff to do this, but I saw on your application that you said this, this, and this. Was this a part of that? Just like an open-ended question was like, so making it clear that you read the application, even if you didn't. Automations can do that for you. So that's another one too, that I will be sending, or I'll be making probably a separate video on about launching that test. So one, engage them. Two, you gotta pre-frame them. So pre-frame just means anything I do that's gonna get them more likely to close. And then three is the reminders. So most companies just go to the reminders part and just give them the data, just give them the link. But again, you should be doing the other two things before that or alongside that. So let's go into the workflow. Let me pull pull up. And as a bonus here, we have the goals separated in workflows because it makes it easier to split test when I'm gonna run a split test to see how any changes I make in the automations affect the sales team. I have to be able to split the traffic and have tags within HubSpot. That way we know what actually led to a higher close rate, a higher show rate. So this is just a bonus one, but one, set it up to where these are separate workflows. And then two, make sure you have tracking. And if there's more tech needed, we can make a video down the road. I'll have make one that's more around the tech side that has to be set up. Because there is some tech that goes into this, but it's well worth setting up, even though it's a little complicated. So let's check out the workflow. Because there's two risks. So here is reminders. We need response. So first thing that happens is the response. So I have it set up in mine as response versus reminders. So the reminders, we'll get into that. There's a custom way of doing that too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, let's start with the response. So again, number one goal, engage. So right now how we have this one set up, when it's booked, we obviously have all these taggings. We do use Allaware for everybody gets the voicemail. We do a voicemail drop. That's like another bonus tip. If you haven't done voicemail drops, freaking love them. If you need a script on that, there is definitely a way to do these that's gonna get a good response rate, and there's a way not to do them. And again, mostly comes down to don't be boring and add value. But we have right now, you'll see a split test going on because I wanted to test a new idea, a new humor angle. But our traditional one right now, it tags them, it goes here. It says, hey, first name. I'm sure you get a bunch of automated text, but this is actually closer owner with the Wingrow method, real person, LOL. Oh, yeah. I hate when it does this. I saw that you booked for me, date and time zone. Do me a favor and let me know I got the right person. This is blank, right? Just want to make sure you're real, not one of those crazy people from the internet, LOL. So that comes across as like a real person sending it. And there's, again, here's another pro tip. Use a different line. Like, don't use the same number that your marketing came from, that they get this text from, use a different number. So this is the sales line. So they're getting the marketing that probably got them to book. It's not the same one that's getting this text, which makes it again seem real. So that's the humor angle I use. Then after that, we wait for a response. If we get a response, they go down this path. If we don't get a response, well, we wait. Then we have, again, more humor to try to like get them to answer. And this one does work. Like I really like the you alive, LOL, and laughy face. Just want to make sure you got my last text. Or were you mauled by a bear? Or I saw in the news that they were abducting people with aliens. I just want to make sure you weren't one of them. You there? Something like that. Again, it's cheeky. It's just something that gets them to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a real person. I'm gonna respond, because an automation wouldn't do that. So then we have some Slacks. We have some, again, other tech that goes into this. But then at this point, once they engage, now it's pre-framing. So they engaged. We have the people, again, we can see responders versus not responders. So you can see this is an example of people that originally didn't respond, but then they did respond once we got them to the "Are you alive?" text, essentially, which is kind of cool. So yeah, so it gets an extra, let's say like 20% of people on that one. But then at this point, this is the pre-framing step. So we go to, also, Marnie wants you to watch this video before your call. It's mandatory and includes a little homework that will help you before the call. It's super easy. Then I send them a link. This is another step that I want to test differently. This is just what we've been using for a while. It's very straightforward. And then this is where we have testimonials. We have a pre-call video that's all about framing them to want to close for the call. And then also, again, there's another bonus. I'm giving you guys lots of bonuses. You can set up a workflow that tracks if they watch this video. Because if you really need them to watch the video, it's helpful in HubSpot. You can set it up with Vitalytics, which is what we use, to actually track to know, did they watch the pre-framed video? And if they didn't, then that's good information for the sales team, the salesperson, but then it's also, you can trigger on another workflow, be like, hey, give them another reason to watch that video, right? So that's that. Now we get to the actual, so that was engaging and pre-framing. And I don't want to show you guys what's on this side yet because it's a very interesting experiment. It's very different. So if it works, I'll make a video on it. If it doesn't though, I'm not going to, but it's very out there. So we'll see how it does. But then the other part of this is going to be the actual, the like confirmation part. So it's like the email reminders, the text reminders, and all that good stuff. So for us, another thing that's really important to have set up, you'll notice for all of us, depending on how many days they booked out, they get a custom workflow. Because we saw show rate, close rate was different based on how many days out they booked. And also that we could have an impact on people that book 6 days out. We're gonna have a totally different process than people that book 5 days versus 4 versus 1, right? Because it's a different process to get them through. We can't send everybody through the same thing. So that's another separate tip. But one, track your show rate and no show rate and close rate based on days booked out, because then you can optimize your calendar for it. But also, you do need to have some like tech skills to do that, but also set up your workflow in a way that can customize each path. So not just set it up for tracking, set it up for tracking for one, but then two, set up your workflow in a way that you can customize each path. So that's what we have here, and these are pretty basic. There's nothing too crazy about them, but we usually do, obviously the response thing right away. We do 3 days out, we do 1 day out, then we do day of morning, as well as an hour before with a text and 5 minutes before with the text as well. So that's pretty much the way we go with it. And the emails are on each, the same time they get a text, they're also getting an email. So 3 days out, 1 day out, day of morning, and then hour before, 5 minutes before. So yeah, also you guys can, just to do the math for yourself on what increasing the show rate, I'll share this calculator with you, but just put in your booked calls, your no show rate, your close rate, your average order value, your deals per lead, and then put in what it would be like in a hypothetical with this, and then just see what that's worth. But yeah, so if you guys want like more, like maybe a document of all that laid out, let me know. You can comment down there. I will put the links for this, and I'll make another video on the testing one too. So, but that's how to set it up. So if you're not doing those things, there was a lot of information I just threw at you. At least implement, probably the biggest one to implement is the engagement part. Like even if you don't have the split testing, even if you don't have all the tech to set up, need help with that, again, comment, let me know. But even if you don't have that, you can still do this. You can still do at least parts of it.